How's it going, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Rah Sharma. I'm here with Zune Australia and a very special guest today. This is Hump Day Tech Day. It's Wednesday, so it's going to be quite exciting. So if you can hear me, if you can see me, put a thumbs up, post a comment below so we can actually know. Before we get started of a very exciting next 30 minutes. Come on, guys. How's everything going? Wow, the light is so bright on my face. That's a little better. Okay, we'll wait a few minutes for a few people to join in. Michael, how's it going, Michael? Nice to have you around. Viral, nice to meet you as well, mate. Dev, what are you waiting for? Do comment below. What are you waiting for? Okay, so everything seems to be working. So this is a comment from YouTube working. This is a comment from Facebook. We also have another YouTube. So great to know that everything is actually working. Nancy, nice to have you on board as well. Okay, and finally, Michael, pleasure to be here. I love your lighting setup. Thank you, guys. So I've got my favorite Zune gimbal here. I actually have almost every single one of Zune gimbal, and I love testing them. Yeah, this is the Crane 3 Lab. This is my baby for a lot of setups, especially the Pocket 4K and things like that. So before our special guest comes in, let me just show you around on how it looks like. This is my beloved setup. There you go. There you go. So I have a monitor mounted at the back. I have a battery pack, and that's how I run it. So let's put this back over here for now. Okay. Come back to me. All right. Moses says, let's go. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Okay, sounds good. So without any further delays, let's get on to Hump Day Tech Day. I need a drum roll. I need to have all the sound effects and everything happening for the next time. So I think we should be able to set that up for the next time. So once again, guys, my name is Rah Sharma. I'm here with Zune Tech Australia, and every second Wednesday. So Hump Day Tech Day. Woo! Hump Day Tech Day is happening. So every second Wednesday, so twice a month we're doing this. And you get the opportunity to meet new filmmakers in Australia, collaborate with them, see what they do, how they do, and be inspired by them, and see maybe they can share their experiences and can motivate you, inspire you in regards to what you're doing. So before we actually call on our famous guest today from Western Sydney, what we're going to do is I'm going to start mentioning on how you can get the Smooth XS today. One lucky winner is going to get the Smooth XS. So this is how it's going to happen. Comment in this video, tag 3 friends to go into the draw to win a free Smooth XS Black. Tag 3 friends to go into the draw to win a free Smooth XS Black. So there you go. Go tag. Now, I have my team behind the scenes over here. They're actually on the system and actually looking on every single platform, what's happening. So when you comment, the comments are also coming onto our platform. So we know exactly what time, who, how it's going to be. So a winner is going to be chosen randomly. So please go ahead, comment 3 friends on this post, tag them, right? You get a chance to win or they get a chance to win. We don't know. It's going to be all up to the luck, just like playing lottery. All right. So here's an opportunity. No hard questions, no crazy answers, none of that. It's very simple. You just got to go and comment. So without any further delays, let's invite our guest. But before I invite him, I just want to show who he is. So this is our special guest, Deli. He's a content producer. Today's the 24th of January. And of course, we are giving away a Smooth XS. Without any further ado, let's invite our guest over here. Hello, Deli. Okay, I can't hear you, my friend.
I have been foiled by the unmute button. How you guys going? I'm Deli. Nice to be here.
I think we call it a sticky button. You know, when you press something on the camera and you know sometimes you forget to press record, and as DPs we call it a sticky button. All right, so should be all right. So Deli, welcome to this. Welcome to Hump Day Tech Day. I hope you're excited because we're not only talking to you today and trying to get users motivated on how you pumped up into this industry and how you're doing things, but not just that. We're also going to talk about how you use a gimbal, what gimbal do you recommend to people who are coming on board to this? And most of all, we are going to give away a smooth access today. So, Deli, tell me, how did you get into this industry? Before you answer that, let me give you a space and a little bit of a chance to introduce yourself. So go on, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Deli. I am a content producer, as Rah said earlier. What that means is I help businesses to really realize and create content that actually works for them. So I guess I work a lot with marketing agencies and your marketing department to create something that works. But yeah, so I've been, I guess, in the industry for about 4 to 5 years as a part-time, but I'm looking into getting into it full-time very soon. So yeah.
I'm not gonna let you hijack the channel. I'm not gonna leave you there for full time. Don't you worry about that. That's very good, man. So how did you enter this industry? What steps did you have to take? Did you just go for it? Have you gone to university? How did you get into this industry?
I feel like I got into it by accident, to be honest with you. So I'm actually I'm a business analyst in trade, so that's what I do for my day job. But during the times I was going to uni, a lot of my pastime is actually skating around the city and just taking photos. So I started off in photography, doing a lot of street photography, and as you are in anyone that has a camera, a lot of your friends, a lot of your family friends would ask you, hey, can you shoot my birthday? Or can you shoot my engagement? And then it just built up to shooting weddings. So I got into the weddings industry first. And then from then on, I just met faithfully with a couple of my business partners now. So I met Crazy, Dak, and a couple of other people down the road through weddings. And we started doing productions from then on. So we started doing music videos and commercials. Weddings first.
Talk to me about weddings. How did it go? Are you still doing weddings? What's happening with it?
I am actually. It's really interesting. So obviously COVID kind of halted all of the wedding industry and along with the travel industry. So I would say in the last 3 months, weddings started picking up again with the decrease of lockdown laws and a lot of the rules around dance floors and floor spaces. So it's slowly picking back up. I've been shooting, I think for the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've been shooting weddings every weekend.
Wow, okay.
The flow. Yeah.
So do you enjoy doing weddings?
I think for me, I just love interacting with people in general, which is why I tend to do a little bit more meetings with my clients, especially in the commercial space, before I create the video, because I like to really understand. I think this is just my IT analyst coming through to my creative world, where I really want to know your requirements and know what you need to do to be able to create the best product or best video visuals as possible. So nice. So do you use your own gimbals? I mean, I can see a gimbal behind you, so I can't really tell what it is. What is it? Can you tell the users what gimbal do you have there? So I'm actually still using my first gimbal. So the way that I learn is I jump straight ahead into something because I like to learn hands-on. So when I first transitioned from photo to video, I bought a gimbal and it's still working. So this is it. This is the Zion Crane 2 in its monopod position because I like to be bougie like that. But essentially, it's the Crane 2 with a small rig dual handle setup with a quick release that I usually swap in between a monitor, and if I can get this out, I usually quick swap that with a live feed system because ever since COVID, I've started offering live stream solutions for people.
So very similar setup to what I have, having the monitor at the back right over here. If I just lift this up, I have a monitor at the back, then I have my battery pack. Very similar setup. Oh, dude, except you have a 7-inch monitor and I've got a 5-inch monitor. Look at that.
I think this is a 5.5. This is Atomos Shinobi.
Oh, right. Okay. You got the Adobe Shinobi going over there. Just if I'm using my Nikon Z6, I end up probably using a Atomos Ninja V where I can actually record ProRes RAW. Makes it really, really easy on the gimbal, especially when you're using the Weebill S. So when you use a Weebill S, it's really comfortable having a Nikon Z6 on it with the Atomos Ninja V. But when I'm using my Pocket 4K or 6K, I don't really need external recording because it already does Blackmagic RAW internally and ProRes and things like that. So I just use a monitor just for viewing things, in bright sunlight and things like that. So that's when I start using my OC 5-inch monitor. And it's super small, super light. It's got options of multiple battery. But the main thing is this gimbal. This 3-Lab and 3S are super, super cool. I mean, of course, the 3S is a little bit bigger and heavier. When I use my Ursa Mini Pro with a pancake lens, that's when I use it. So what sort of setups do you have on your gimbal on Crane 2?
I have a Sony a7 III with a Tamron 2875. That's usually my run and gun setup, but I've managed to balance a whole number of cameras onto this thing. And the only thing I don't have is the gravity plate, so I am limited by the height of the things that I put in there. But seeing that, because I am part of a production team, this is not the only gimbal I've used. I've used all sorts of gimbals. In the team, we have a Crane 3. Crane 3S now, because Crazy's got that. So shout out to Crazy Visions. We've got Crane 2S, which Dak wields with his FX6, and I've kind of gotten my hands to all of those different areas, which is why I don't have to spend as much money in terms of buying every single one. Use the connections around you.
Definitely. I mean, look, guys, if you want to have the opportunity as well to try out a gimbal, if you don't have a gimbal, this is your opportunity. So what you got to do is you got to tag 3 friends on this live. So comment below. And we have Ziyun staff over here at the back end who's actually looking at who's commenting. So we are actually looking at what you guys are doing. So if you want to win a XS, have an opportunity to win an black XS. So XS, it just sounds like I'm saying some kind of excess, but it's actually XS. You want to win the gimbal, tag 3 friends, and you have a chance to do that. So now going on board, we have some comments over here, and they're pretty amazing comments on what they're saying. So over here, we have Viral saying, I belong to IT industry and learning videography, and I can so much relate to Deli's story. So there you go. Okay, then on top of it, we also have Ozan here. Weddings are the best training ground for high pressure filmmakers because you don't get second shot for the first kiss. Second shot is one thing, but then you also have one bridal entry, one choices of first reveal. If you're doing, more classical weddings, where people like doing reveals and things like that, you one choice is that, one choice for kiss, one choice for aisle, one choice for the vows. You have only one chance, not choice. I need a Red Bull. So there you go. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of work in regards to wedding filmmakers on what they've put out and to be able to get in there. So here we go. We also have someone responding, Adrian, saying, can the gimbal support the weight for focus motors and the Teradek? Which one, Adrian? You're talking about the Crane 2, which Deli's using over there, talking about the Crane 3 Lab that I'm using over here, or the Crane 3S or the 2S. There's a few options available. So Adrian, do let us know which gimbal are you talking about, and I'll be more than happy to help you there. So Deli, continuing on, how have you been surviving COVID, man? It's still COVID. There's Melbourne's still in the lockdown. Queensland's open for us, so we can actually start traveling to do a bit of filmmaking and concept shoots and things like that. So how have you been surviving this COVID? I mean, I've got my ways. What are your ways?
Really, all of this is diversifying your business. So as freelancers, you are a business. No matter how you look at it, you have clients and things like that. The whole idea is to diversify where you're getting your clients from. So basically, the more industries you work on, the better. So I was fortunate that, well, very first off, I guess I still have my IT job, so I'm still a business analyst. But that aside, when weddings shut down, I was fortunate enough that we do work in the commercial industry. So, when businesses lock down and they don't have a physical advertising to push out to people, they all reverted to social media. So we were very busy during COVID. Nice. So that, along with the new company that we started for music video productions, that also took off very, very quickly during COVID. And I think COVID, to be honest, had an impact around that whole industry, mainly because everyone's at home and everyone's looking for entertainment. So music and music and I guess the byproducts of the music industry in Australia really boosted a lot of that industry in terms of being a creative that works in that industry.
Creative. Yep. A lot of creators actually had issues, right, getting support from the government during COVID. So that's an interesting term. We'll leave the politics out of the way. So here we go. We actually have some answers. So Adrian was asking, can the gimbal support the weight of a focus motor and a Teradek? And Adrian also says the Crane 3. Adrian, so if we're using the Crane 3S, 100%, it also depends on what camera you're using. So I'll talk about my setup, right? So just to make it a little bit easier, this is my setup. This is how I actually have it. And I'm just going to move back a little. That's my Pocket 4K. I've got a tilt and matte box on. I've got my focus ring on. This is a Voigtlander 17.95. 70.95 mm, and it's f/0.95, which is pretty fast. Then I have my battery lock on the side, and then I have my monitor at the back. So you still have space, right? So what I'm trying to say is, if you mount a V-lock plate like this, you're able to install anything you like. So that's what I normally do. I have a mini battery, but my mini battery actually died on shoot yesterday, so I use a bigger 2-in-1 one at the moment. So that's the advantage of the Crane 3 Lab, the Crane 3S. They have multiple options on where you can mount. With the Crane 3 Lab, you have a 1/4-inch thread on this side, right? But on the Crane 3S, you also have it on the other side as well. So you can actually mount both ways. So to answer your question, can you have a wireless focus unit and also a Teradek wireless transmitter applicable mounted onto this and without any issues? Yeah, mate, you can. It's just a matter of the build as well. I mean, I definitely can't,
I think just to answer him directly, like, I wouldn't recommend balancing all of those things on the focus motor, if that's what you're asking. So what we're saying here is, be smart when you're balancing. Don't put the heavy things on the motor. Put it on the body of the gimbal. Like, I have a small rig setup here where everything is sort of attached to the middle point, not the motors.
Yeah.
Because your motors have limitations, and the more weight you put on those motors, the more power it's going to draw from the battery, which means you have less battery life throughout the day. So if you're shooting a wedding like me, I want my gimbal to last almost a 10-hour to 12-hour wedding. So that's something to think about.
That's 100% right, because example, the Weebill S, right? It's one of my favorite gimbals somewhere. Anyway, the Weebill S, if you put a camera on it, when I put my Nikon Z6 on it, I don't really have to balance it that well to make it work. The motors are so powerful, right? So by doing that, what happens is you remove a little bit of power, because motors start taking more power in regards to balancing it on how it's been balanced, because it's not been balanced. So it choose more power to keep it stable. Now, if you are balancing your camera and your gimbal properly, and it actually all the 3 axes are balanced, then you will get the right lifetime out of the battery, and whatever the supplier says on the website, it actually is going to be as close as possible. Also depends on the wind as well. Are you on a windy beach? How fast does the gimbal kind of move around, and how much motor strength it requires? So it's job by job basis. So we also have another question over here from Dev Junk. Before I continue on that, guys, once again, if you want your chance to win a Crane, if you want a chance to win an XS, a beautiful gimbal for mobile phones. Have you used it?
I have not personally used it, but I had a BTS shooter that was bringing it around, so I've seen it on set. Very interesting, very small.
So this is how it looks like. You guys will be able to see in the top bottom left corner. So that's the XS gimbal, Zhiyun's XS gimbal. So yeah, if you want a chance on winning that, an opportunity on winning that, we are giving this away for free. Now remember, this is for Australian residents only. The reason we say Australian residents, this is live from Zhiyun Australia. Therefore, it's pretty fair to keep it to Zhiyun Australia, as we will be covering the shipping cost for Australia. But if you are a winner and you are from overseas, then the only thing we request is pay your own shipping. And I think that's pretty fair for a product you're getting for free. Now, if you don't get any products today, don't be disheartened, because there's always another 2 weeks and another product coming up. So you have to subscribe on our YouTube channel, on Facebook, on Instagram and follow us, because we're also doing some competitions over there, and Deli's involved over there as well with creating content for Zune Australia as well. And it's quite exciting, it's quite exciting. So once again, guys, tag at least 3 people, comment in the box on this live video, let them know that you're watching about this, share your thoughts about this as well, and comment your questions. So now moving on to Dev's question before we run out in 10 minutes. Can you tell me how to connect a mobile app to Crane 3S? Definitely. This is how I do it. There's a few different ways, and they all work in different routes. I'm going to tell you how to do it as doing as a first user, right? You have your gimbal, you have your mobile phone on. Turn your mobile phone's Wi-Fi on, go to your Wi-Fi, connect the gimbal, connect your gimbal to the Wi-Fi. You'll find Zune Wi-Fi come up. You connect that, enter the default password. I'm not 100% sure of default password. I'm pretty sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If not, please Google it. If someone knows the password, you can I'll be more than happy for your help to comment below. Now, after you do that, then you go to your ZY Play app. After you get to your ZY Play app, you'll be able to connect directly to the gimbal. There's a good chance that you'll require software update as well. Firmware update, if that's required, you can actually follow the prompts there. If not, if you're using Zune's new app, then you'll have to register. So you can actually join Zune's app by logging via your mobile phone or signing up via an email address. They will send you a verification code. Once that gets approved, your gimbal gets registered to you. So in that way, there is a process in regards to warranty and things like that, and how you use it, or if you want to share your work on ZY Profile. That's how we connect a app. So hopefully that helps. Now we're going to look if there's any other questions. That was the same question right over there. And then Will Joseph says, yeah, nice. Okay. Viral has a question, says the smooth access looks awesome, compact, lightweight. It's not actually a question, it's a compliment. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Keep those compliments coming. Now, before we head off and start finding a winner, team, hopefully you're looking for the winner. Please look for the winner, because everyone's waiting. We're all hungry. I have dinner as well to go to. I'm pretty sure we can make it work. So, Deli, tell me, when Sid told me that I'm talking to you, I said, is it going to be at a restaurant? Is it going to be at some kind of deli? Why do people call you Deli, man? Tell me.
Everyone asks this to me. It is actually sort of a nickname that was given to me by someone in my youth group, one of the leaders there. Basically, the whole story was I was at youth camp once. Oh man, this is a bit embarrassing. But David, I'm sorry. So I accidentally broke someone's toe. So because my last name is Deliso, yeah, they started calling me Deli Toe for a little bit. But after that, I mean, like he became pretty much my mentor and my older brother. He's the one that taught me like a lot of the live stream technical side behind the scenes. So yeah, David, thank you. But yeah, thanks for giving me the nickname, because Deli just stuck and everyone started calling me Deli.
Okay. Final question before we start cutting it down. So if anyone has any questions, please do write down in your comments below. And don't forget, if you want to win, tag 3 friends at least onto the post, and you have a chance of winning access. Now, last question for Deli. Deli, if someone wants to find a gimbal, let's say they have a camera. If it's let's take mobile phones out for now. Let's go directly to mirrorless cameras, DSLR cameras. How does a person go and find out what gimbal is good for them? How did you do this? Can you tell them like a 3-step process or something on how someone can find their gimbal?
Yeah, so I guess 3-step process. One is like find what your requirements are, right? Each cameras have different weights. Each lenses with those cameras also have different weights. So you basically combine those two together of your ideal setup, and now you have a weight to work with. So a lot of the gimbals that you have, the Crane 2, and basically they work in tiers, with each tier basically supporting a range weight, right? Now, with that in mind, each sort of gimbals have different features in terms of whether you're able to connect them to your phone and control them, wireless focus motors. Those are something to really look out for in terms of if you'll need them. So if you're a prosumer, you'd probably get a little bit on the higher end. So maybe the Crane 2, 2S, 3S. to work with your heavier cameras, so especially if you're rocking a cinema camera line, which is very amazing. Recommend it. When you're working with cinema line, you do need a stronger gimbal. So you basically work down the line. But as I say to anyone, really look at your budget, because that budget is a creative's limitation. But a limitation is not something to be, not something to be disheartened with. It's something to be creative and find a solution about. That's literally what your name is supposed to do. So yeah, there's a way to, one, you can strip down your camera, you use a lighter setup to put on a gimbal. A lot of the wedding shooters that I know even shoot with lighter weight cameras to offset that, because wedding shooters like to pack light and they don't want to necessarily carry this. The only reason why I carry this around is because I trust the strength of the Crane 2S, the Crane 2 and the Crane 2S motors, and it's never died on me. So it's one of those, battery life is a big thing for me in terms of shooting
100%.
On a long form.
So I suppose the first process is, number one, you need to know what gimbal to buy. First, you need to figure out what camera you're going to use. Once you figure out your camera, then you know what payload you need for the gimbal. So by knowing the payload and in how much the weight you're going to be putting on a gimbal, then you can go find a gimbal that's going to support that payload. And then you need the right amount of batteries in there for amount of time you want to run it. Then you start looking for features. What kind of features do you need in a gimbal? There's normally a entry-level gimbal, a mid-tier gimbal, and a professional level gimbal, and they have multiple different sorts of features. So by the time you get to that stage, you'll better understand on what options are there available. Now, carrying on, there's two more questions over here before we call it a night. Michael says, what would you say the advantage of gimbals of a Steadicam? So Deli, let's answer this question. What is the advantage of gimbals over Steadicam? I got, well, let's put it this way. For me, working under pressure in an uncontrollable environment. So if I have a gimbal setup, or if I'm running on a beach, or if I'm at a location where it's unstable and uncontrolled, I just need to go shoot and get out. Gimbal has that ability. So even if I'm moving a bit and I'm not properly balanced with my vest, I can still use a gimbal in hand. By using a handheld gimbal, it's more a matter of how you hold on your hand and not the rest of it. So the motors over there allow to keep the camera stable. That's one. And then secondly, I suppose it's that I'm able to mount more things onto the front over here instead of having a display at the bottom while looking on the Steadicam, the way you balance it. So, I mean, that's my two advantages. I mean, what's yours, Deli? Tell me.
So I guess this is all a matter of perspective. So I've worked with DPs that use primary gimbals and some DPs that work primary Steadicams. And I've asked them this question. So it really comes down to two things. One is, I would say, the look that you're going for. So because a gimbal look is very different to a Steadicam look.
Correct.
Similar. Yeah. It's similar, but you'll see nuances in terms of. Sorry?
Probably when you're on gimbal on an F mode, like a full mode, that's when you can replicate any kind of direction you go. Yeah,
the F mode is very close to that look. But then again, gimbal can only have that look and switch between handheld and that. Whereas with gimbals, right, you're a little bit more flexible in terms of the things that you want to do in a shorter amount of time. The way that I look at it really is in terms of your time to learn / skill level. So if you're a brand new filmmaker, jumping onto the Steadicam has a higher learning curve than jumping on a gimbal that auto balances itself. Balancing a Steadicam, if you're new, it could take 30 minutes or even longer. I've seen someone try it, especially when you're at rental houses. You see them like look, like it takes a skill, and to operate that thing with the heavy payload takes a lot of I guess body preparation and a lot of skill to maneuver, right? But with a gimbal, you can easily bridge that gap using the motors and the electronics and the features that's there. Like literally, some gimbals have the feature to automatically track a subject, and that pretty much that beats a lot of capabilities. Okay.
I think that's pretty good, right? So Michael, it also depends on if you're using a Steadicam or glide cam. There's a little bit of difference there. Steadicam, glide cam, the sizes as well. So I hope that answers your question somehow. Now we're going to be moving on to the last question before we announce the winner, right? So the last question is, what would be the best all-rounder lens for crop sensor camera to use on video? Auto lens or manual lens? That's probably my first question, Virar. So are you using do you want to get an auto lens or manual lens? Is it for video? Is it for photo? Is it for hybrid? So meanwhile, Deli, tell me, what's your favorite all-rounder lens for a 35mm or a crop sensor or APC? What's your opinion?
I have to think about this one because I sort of skipped the crop sensor line of cameras. I did shoot a Canon 80D when I first started, but as I said earlier, I tend to jump to the thing that I know would make me learn the best. So I jumped on the A7 III and bought a 24-70 straight away. However, I would say if you're using a crop sensor, probably the best start is, I would say, a 24-70 would do you long in terms of if you're shooting someone else. But if you're shooting yourself with a crop sensor camera, go for a wide angle. So go for 16-35 or even wider than that. Because if you're doing this, a crop sensor will crop at almost 20-25%.
So he's saying using a Canon 90D.
Yeah, so I started using a Canon 80D when I first started. So that was a crop sensor, and I used an 18-35 f4 for the longest time. I shot weddings with that thing.
All right, so this is what I use, right? My crop sensor, such as Blackmagic Pocket 4K, I like using the Laowa 7.5mm on it. It is f2 and it's beautiful. And then on top of it, I also have the Nikon Z6 where that's full frame, so I can't really answer the question. The only other option that I have for a crop lens is the Sigma 18-35. It's an all-rounder lens. It's f1.8, shallow, fast, nicely built, comes in different mounts. You can use it for your Sony, you can use it for EF. So yeah, there you go. Those are our suggestions, and I hope that's helpful. And Michael finally says, sure does answer my question. Now, guys, this is the time, and we have bugs flying here. Welcome to Australia. Go away. Yeah. Okay. So before we get to this, I'm going to request, I'm not going to do this, right? So Zion, you guys are watching, Zion Australia. Can you please go to Facebook and type in the winner that is actually winning this? Who is the winner of the XS? So hey, our mates over here. Here we go.
Oh, yo, what's up, bro? How you going? That's my mates there. These guys are my brothers now, but like, yeah, we started off as business partners, and yeah, plugging in Spider Productions. This is one.
All right, so we're just waiting. Kevin says, "Big man, Deli." Okay, so Deli, I'm not gonna tell you to explain what that means to the guest, but I'm pretty sure we understand that, right? Okay, so who is the winner, guys? Z in Australia, where are you? Come on, let's do this, please. Announce the winner. Everyone's waiting over here. Drum roll happening, and that's a very poor drum roll. Let me try again. I'm really bad at that. All right, let's find out who the winner is. So once again, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly jump on this.
Ooh,
okay.
ooh, some deliberation.
All right, so I have actually been told the winner at the back over here on the backend system, because apparently we can't use the backend and front at the same time, and there's some collisions. But anyways, the winner for the XS is, okay, the winner for the XS is, look, everyone's just patiently waiting, and I appreciate you guys doing that. The winner for the XS is, I've been told, Michael. Michael, I'm sorry, I really cannot pronounce your last name, and I'm pretty sure you can't pronounce my last name either, so I hope you're okay with that. But Michael, if you're on, I've just posted there, 9:04 p.m. There you go, Zio in Australia also posted as well. Thank you so much, guys, for posting as well. Our winner for XS. All right, Zhiyun XS. So any last words to the audience, Deli, before you go? I know your mates are watching now, and they're here as well to support you. They're amazing filmmakers. I've actually followed a few of them. So any last words to the viewers before I let you go?
Yeah, I guess, check us out. I guess I'm at Deli Visuals, and a couple of guys there from Swainer Productions. Yeah, we do a lot of music video content and behind the scenes content there. But yeah, I guess for you guys, stay creative. A lot of gimbals around. We are in a golden age of cheap camera gear. Oh man, it's great. So yeah, keep a lookout for those sales.
Very nice, mate. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next time, right?
See you soon.
Thanks so much, Deli. Okay, guys, so there we go. That was Deli. He's an amazing, talented filmmaker, content producer. You should follow him on YouTube, follow him on Instagram, follow him on Facebook, follow him everywhere, because that's how we grow. We are filmmakers. We need to kind of be connected. We need to support each other. It's a very small industry in Australia, right? So if you need any help with Zhiyun gimbals for yourself, for anyone else, feel free to message me. Feel free to message Zhiyun Australia, and also feel free to message Deli. Not just that, congratulating Michael. He says, I can't wait to try it. Thanks, Zhiyun. No problems at all. Nancy is also on board saying, thanks, Deli and Rah. Thank you, Nancy. Now, finally, if you want to know where you can buy all of these products, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a last slide on where you will be able to see the products in regards to the brands where you can go in Australia and purchase Zhiyun products. Hope that assists. So once again, guys, my name is Rah Sharma. This was Hump Day Tech Day, episode 3 with Deli, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for episode 4.